Welcome to Oracle StorageTek Linear Tape File System Library Edition Planning and Installation. In this video, we are going to cover how to install Oracle LTFS LE. These instructions can be found in the StorageTek Linear Tape File System Library Edition Planning and Installation Guide. So far we have installed all of our hardware for a typical LTFS LE installation. We've got our LTFS LE server, our library, our drives, our ACSLS server, and then we've got a means by which we connect our drives to our LTFS LE server, in this case a fiber channel switch. We have also installed Oracle Enterprise Linux 5.5 x64 on the LTFS LE server. Just a base installation, and now we're ready to install Oracle LTFS LE. First thing you're going to want to do is on your LTFS LE server, you're going to want to check your etc host file to make sure that it was written correctly during the installation so that we have good network connectivity. So you can see here the first line is all the localhost information. It's got the localhost IP, localhost.local domain, and then localhost. Second line here is for IPv6. You can ignore it. The next line here, the third line, is the IP of your LTFS LE server, the fully qualified domain name of your LTFS LE server. In this case, the server's name is Bohemia. The fully qualified domain name is .us@oracle.com. And then we have Bohemia. So we've got a good etc host file. We're ready to do a good installation of LTFS LE. First thing we're going to want to do is actually download the software, and you get that from Oracle eDelivery. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. Go ahead and agree to the terms. Once I'm in here, from the select a product pack, it's already selected here for me, but you'll want to scroll down to Oracle StorageTek Products, Linux x86-64, hit the Go button. You'll see here that we have Oracle StorageTek Linear Tape File System, Library Edition, Media Pack for Linux. Go ahead and select that. And you'll see here we've got a download here. Now, for the purposes of this video, I've already downloaded the software. You can see it's here 3 gigs, so it'll take a little while. Went ahead and downloaded the software by CD. What I've done is I've created a downloads directory. That's where I put all my downloads. I've already unpacked it too. So basically what you'll get is you'll download this zip file, you'll unzip it, he'll actually give you a tar file, and you'll untar him, and it'll unpack all of these other directories and files. So you have some release notes in there, and we'll be running some of the stuff in here. So that's the next step you'll want to do, is download your LTFS LE software in preparation for installing LTFS LE as the root user. Now what you'll do next is you're going to go ahead and create your users, or your Oracle user for your installation. First, what we have to do though is add a group. So we'll do group add. I'm going to go ahead and give it an ID. Install. We'll call it the install group, and then we'll go ahead and add our user. Give him an ID as well. Assign him to the install group, and give him his name. So once we've done that, we want to give him a password. Alright, so we've added our Oracle user. Now there are some prerequisites that we have to update to the system, particularly the etc security limits.conf file, in order to install all the components. So we'll have to do that, and we'll have to reboot the system for those changes to take effect. So we'll do that right now, reboot the system, so that's taken care of. So what we'll do is we'll actually cd to that directory. I'm going to go ahead and make a copy just in case. Just in case I make an error. And then I'll go ahead and VI him. I got a little cheat sheet here. I'm going to go ahead and I've copied this right out of the installation guide. But I'm going to go ahead and, just for purposes of this video, go ahead and just go down the bottom here. Maybe right in here I'll insert. Give myself a little space. Alright, so I've added that. I'm going to go ahead and check it really quick. Alright, so went ahead and added those. I'm going to go ahead and reboot the system. Alright, so our system has rebooted. We're going to go ahead and log in here as the root user. And we're going to go ahead and reinsert our installation CD because we need to add a few more software packages. However, these are optional, sort of optional. If you are using IBM LTO5 drives, you have to perform these next steps that I'm about ready to perform. If not, you will not need to do these. Basically what we're going to be doing is setting up our server to be able to rebuild RPMs. We're going to go out to the IBM Fix Central website and download their LinTape drivers. So again, if you are using IBM LTO5 drives, you will need to download these drivers and install them. So first things first though, we're going to go ahead and put in our OS installation CD or DVD, and we're going to go ahead and install some other software. So you're going to CD to media, Enterprise, Linux DVD, do an LS here. Real quick, we'll see what I like to do first though is I like to import, just to make sure I got the keys. I'm going to import this key right here. Alright, and then I'm going to CD to server. See it there? That's where the software, the RPMs that we're going to need to install are located. And again, these are all in the installation guide. Now I've got another, like I said, I got my cheat sheet here. I'm going to install the RPMs all at once for purposes of this video. The installation guide has you install them one at a time. Certainly you can do it either way. So I'm going to, like I said, for the speed of this video, to get going on to the next step, I'm going to do them all at one at a time. Alright, so it looks like we got our RPMs installed. We're ready to go out to the IBM Fix Central website and grab the LinTape drivers. And again, back to the diagram here, in our basic LTFS LE installation, we do have an IBM LTO5, so for this particular installation we are going to have to get the LinTape and LinTape D drivers. So what we'll do from here, I'm going to close out my cheat sheet here, go out to the IBM Fix Central website. I've already got it bookmarked here. Once you're in here, you want to go to the product group, you want to go to system storage, you want to select tape systems, and I found that in some browsers I don't always come back with the next drop down, but just hit continue and then it'll drop it in there. From tape systems, you're going to want to select tape drivers and software. Continue here. Then we're going to want to actually select tape device drivers under software. Platform is going to be Linux 64-bit x86_64. Continue here. Alright, you're going to want to go ahead and continue. You want to select Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5. Get the latest driver software here. Once you select that link, okay, so I'm waiting here. Getting a little ahead of myself here. Alright, so once you're in here, you're probably gonna, if you don't already have an IBM Fix Central account, you'll have to create one. Go ahead and register for one. I've already got one here, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I go ahead and select the default download options. Hit continue. Go ahead and agree to the terms. Alright, so in here you're going to want to always grab the install.readme file. You're going to grab the lintape source RPM and the lintape D binary RPM. Now I've already, like I said, I've already created a directory downloads, but then I've also already created a lintape directory underneath that. So I'm going to save the README file. Oh, I already downloaded it once. Getting ahead of myself here. I'll go ahead and just replace it, make sure I get it. And again, I'll grab the lintape D binary file as well. Binary RPM. Go do that later. Alright, so we're done here. Check our downloads, make sure we have them all. Looks like we have them all here. Now you'll see here that the lintape RPM is a source RPM. So this is the reason we had to download some other software from the Oracle Enterprise Linux DVD, was to be able to rebuild this RPM into a binary RPM. You have to install this lintape RPM, or build it and install it prior to lintape D. We'll go through that process right now. So first what we'll do is we will make sure all our software is there. See, it's there. I'm going to go ahead and just open the README. And in the README it tells you what it wants you to do. Basically run RPM build -- rebuild and then the file name. In this case it'll be lintape, the lintape source RPM. Go ahead and open a terminal. CD to downloads, lintape. I think you might have to change the permissions on those files. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to do an RPM rebuild of this source RPM. Oops, I guess I should go read the directions again. Oh, RPM build. Okay, RPM build -- rebuild. Alright, so he's finished. Now you'll see here that he wrote the lintape binary RPM to this directory. So what I like to do, because I don't want to have to do this again if I install another LTFS LE server, if I reinstall this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that file to my lintape directory. So if I do an ls now, you'll see I have this lintape RPM or binary RPM. So now what I want to do is actually keep these two files for any other installations you might do. That way they're done. You don't have to rebuild them anymore. These are the two files you need. Go ahead and change the permissions on this guy. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and install the lintape driver first. Okay. Go ahead and install my lintape D driver. Alright, so now I got the lintape drivers from IBM done. Next thing we want to do is CD to your downloads directory or wherever you put your LTFS LE software. This tar file, again, I unpacked it already, and I have all these other files to run. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this courses prep.sh to put a bunch of prerequisite software for the Oracle LTFS open software that we're going to download. You have to download it separately because it's open software. So what we'll go ahead and do now is we're going to go ahead and run courses prep.sh. Now if you see here as you're watching this, it's going to go do a check on the limits.conf file. So you'll see system resource limits passed for the root user. So we did add them for both the root and the Oracle user. So you can see here that after that reboot, our limits.conf file looks good. The resource limits pass. We'll do another check when we actually install the Oracle LTFS LE software as the Oracle user. But now, like I said, we're going to install a bunch of prerequisite software as the root user. Going to clean up my desktop a little bit here. I don't need to see the README anymore. Close out of some of these directories. Alright, so you'll see here that he does do a quick check to see if there is any LTFS open software under the downloads LTFS directory. Basically, the directory you're in, if there's an LTFS directory, he'll look for it there, and he's not going to find it, so he's just going to ask if you want to continue with the installation. Just a quick reminder to say, hey, you're going to have to install the LTFS open software after you're done with this. So we'll go ahead and say yes to continue with the LTFS LE installation. So you'll see here that it's installing a bunch of MySQL software. LTFS LE does use a MySQL database. You do have to install as a root user. The LTFS LE installation OUI, or Oracle Universal Installer, will not allow you to install MySQL as the Oracle user. So that's why we're installing it as the root user prior to running the OUI. Alright, so we're done running the courses prep.sh script, and we can go ahead and exit out of our command line window. The next step that we're going to want to perform is go grab the Oracle LTFS open software from the Oracle website. You see we have this free and open source software page. I'm going to look over here on the left. So under linear tape file system, we'll go ahead and go to downloads, and we're going to want to go to the RPMs. We're going to want to select LTFS 1.2.5, and we're going to want to grab this middle file here, the binary RPM for LTFS 1.2.5. Again, I'm going to save this file, and I've actually created a directory under my downloads directory called LTFS_open. Save that file there. Looks like it's done. Go ahead and get out of our web page here. CD to that directory. Again, I think I'm going to have to change permissions. Go ahead and install him. Alright, so he's installed. We're now ready to actually to run the actual Oracle Universal Installer to install the LTFS LE software. First thing we got to do, though, is we have to get out as the root user and log in as the Oracle user that we created a little while ago. Go ahead and log out. Okay, log in as Oracle. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and open a terminal. CD to that downloads directory. You'll see here there's an install LTFS-LE.sh. So you'll want to run that. And again, he'll check some stuff. He'll check that limits.conf file for this user. And see he passed. Now what he's going to ask you for here in a couple minutes is for a WebLogic administrative console admin user and password. Now we'll go ahead and add that user to the WebLogic domain, and we'll set him up to be used with the LTFS-LE buoy. Alright, kind of gives you a little explanation of what you can use for a WebLogic administrator username and password. And we'll go ahead and add ours. In this case, I'm going to add LTFS-LE admin. Give it a password. And he'll go ahead and launch the Oracle Universal Installer. This screen, we're just going to say next. Hit next again. Now we've already created some other stuff with that coursesprep.sh script that he wants to create here with the OUI. So he's just giving you a warning, hey, do you want me to proceed with this? Go ahead and say yes. Hit next and hit install. Now of course if you'd like to, you can see what's going on. Click into the window here behind the OUI window. Might be a good idea. You might think that sitting over here for a while it's not doing much. But if you see this window behind here, he's actually doing all the work. Alright, so you can see here that the Oracle LTFS-LE installation is complete, and that we must reboot the system in order to start the services for LTFS-LE. So we'll go to our OUI, go ahead and exit. We'll exit out of here. Now what you're going to have to do though is go ahead and certainly you can switch users. I'm going to go ahead and log out as Oracle because you have to shut down or reboot the system as the root user, or at least a user that has more privileges than the one we created. So I'm going to log in as root. One thing I will mention now, I'm using what's called Integrated Lights Out Manager Remote Console for our Oracle Sun servers, and so I've actually redirected to a CD-ROM image. So to show you all the stuff that we needed to do with the Oracle Linux DVD. Now for your server, you may have needed to reinsert the DVD into your server. You're going to want to pull that out once you're done installing some RPMs, especially if the first boot device is the DVD. You don't want to reinstall the OS. So just a quick note to keep in mind that you are going to want to pull that DVD out. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and restart the system now that we have LTFS-LE installed, and we'll check the services once they come up, and we'll do a couple more things and we're ready to configure. Alright, our server has been restarted. We're going to go ahead and log in as the root user. Alright, we'll go ahead and check our services. So what we do, go ahead and just open a terminal. Go ahead and open this up a little bit. I'm going to type manage capital L TFS LE capital services -I for information. So you see here there's different the MySQL database. It's up and running, gives you the PID. All the different components look like they're all running. So I'd like to check that out really quick, and at this point we're ready to get ready to configure LTFS-LE. The first thing you want to do in order to get ready to configure for LTFS LE is we have to take that LTFS LE admin user and add him to the LTFS LE admin role. And we do that through the WebLogic Administrative Console. So we'll go ahead and open up a browser window here. I'm going to go ahead and go to my server here. I'm going to log in with that LTFS LE admin user that I created during the OUI LTFS LE install. Alright, so once I'm in the WebLogic Server Administrative Console, I'm going to go down to Security Realms, go to My Realm, and go to Users and Groups, go to the LTFS LE admin user that I created and am now logged in as. Go to the Groups tab. I'm going to see that there's some LTFS LE roles here. Now, what one thing you're going to want to make sure of is that anytime you create a user, or anytime you create this or add a role to this user, you can only add one user or one role per user. So in this case, this is our LTFS LE admin user. We're going to add him to the LTFS LE admin role. Just click him, hit the right arrow, he'll put him into the chosen roles, and we want to hit save. So he's ready to go. What we want to do now is we're going to want to log out of the WebLogic admin console, and we're going to want to log into the LTFS LE GUI, or browser user interface. So we'll go ahead and use the same address, but after the port that is being used, we're going to want to type a capital LTFS. And again, we want to use the same user. And we're in our LTFS LE GUI. Now, you may get an error message once you add the LTFS LE admin role to this user. You may get a login error, and all you need to do is wait for maybe a minute for WebLogic to actually assign that role or give access to that user in order to log into the LTFS LE GUI. So if you do see a login error message, just try again. Within a couple minutes you should be able to get to this screen. So at this point, your LTFS LE server is up and running. You're in here at the GUI. Of course, there's nothing in here because we haven't configured yet, but this concludes our video for installing LTFS LE.